Hey everybody, this is Joe, and just a little intro for this episode where we have Adrienne from Scarefest, the Spawn of Scarefest on. She's going to be talking about the Spawn of Scarefest. We want to go all through the details of all the different things we're going to be doing with you. Definitely want you to come out and, if nothing else, do the show and tell with the Boneheads, especially if you're a listener. But if you want to save some money, Adrienne and Scarefest have done a really nice thing for our listeners and our watchers or wherever you're picking this up at. If you want to go to the Spawn of Scarefest, all you have to do to save 10% on your tickets is just type in Bonehead Save 10. Bonehead, Bonehead, save, Save 10. It's just Bonehead Save then 10. That's it. Bonehead save 10. And if you listen to this or you're watching this, that's a way for you to save 10% off your Spawn and Scarefest tickets. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to save a little money. Maybe that'll pay for a little bit of that gas money it's going to cost to drive here or wherever you go. Just trying to save you some money. So, Bonehead save 10. This episode about the Spawn and Scarefest. So, see you at Spawn and Scarefest. All three Boneheads will be there doing show and tell, and then I'll also be doing all the panels. Can't wait to see you guys. Spawn a Scarefest. If you want to buy tickets, Bonehead Save 10. Here's the episode. Welcome to Bonehead Weekly. And it is my pleasure to have one of my nearest, dearest friends on, Chad Jennings. I'm joking, Adrienne. Adrienne, I feel like you
I
were just
am
here in
nothing.
October.
Yeah, I feel like it was
It's
six
just like six
months
months
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
It's weird. So we're about to do another show, and I know you do the most of the work. That's we were just talking about drama, and we won't mention names and all the things that go on behind the scenes and how I deal with it. How do you deal with it? Because I talked about, well, I just let it go for the most part.
I don't have a very good memory, so it has to be pretty substantial or terrible for me to remember.
Is that true?
Very. There are some things that steel trap. Numbers, absolutely. Instances, not so much.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just always go ahead.
I have to write everything down. So if I don't write it down, you're probably in the clear. In 6 months, I'll forget.
So we're about to do this again, and when I say we're, my job is dancing fool. So it's not really all that difficult. Actually, it's a hell of a lot more difficult than people think it is.
Yeah.
I always say when people kind of give me attitude, I always go, it's like the dog that runs after the car. What are you going to do if you caught it?
Right.
What you going to do once you're actually standing up there? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. What are you going to do once you actually catch it? So why are we doing this again so quick? And technically it's really not even 6 months later. It's like nine, and then we'll do Scarefest. Hold on, July, August, September, October. Oh
Seven and five. Yeah, I
man,
know. Well,
I'm happy to get to work. I'm excited about it. We did the walkthrough Sunday. I looked at the panel room, and by the way, we're talking about Spawn of Scarefest.
yeah, for those of you who are living under a rock, Spawn of Scarefest, June 5th through 7th, Griffin Gate Marriott, Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah, I gave them a squirrel the other day.
A squirrel.
Yes. My peach trees. Have you ever heard me complain about my peach trees? Adam
No,
uses my peaches. I'm trying to teach the kid not to murder things we don't have to. But
yeah.
3 years ago, the squirrel population ate all my peaches, so I hate squirrels now.
Oh,
So
no.
I have to catch them and take them away. And I just caught one. That was the reason I was almost going to be late. I had one in the back of the truck. He now lives at the Griffin Gate, and I let him out in the parking lot.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I mean, they need more squirrels. While we were there, did you notice how many holes had been dug in the mulch? There was mulch all over the sidewalk. There must have been 150 holes.
Pay
The
attention.
squirrels digging up them mulch holes.
I didn't pay attention to it.
Yep.
So give me a little bit. Have you talked about the history on a lot of podcasts yet about how
No.
Spawn came about? Why don't you start with that? Because I, we flirted, and by we, I'm going to say the royal we of everybody who works on
Yeah.
Scarefest. Especially, I always people go, you're on the inside, and I go, no, 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 no. There's an inner circle. There's this, and then I'm somewhere out here on the
You're
outskirts
the crust.
of the solar system. I'm right outside the solar system. I'm not in the inner circle. Um, just not. But the been flirted with because I had tried to get him to go to Owensboro, because I
Yeah.
know Owensboro had requested. I don't think I'm doing TMI because LexCon went to Owensboro and it didn't work out. We tried it 2 years
Hmm.
in a row. But I wanted to go. I'd like to have went back. What what was the decision on doing a hotel show? What was the decision in doing it in the same city you already have Scarefest? Come to me with all these ideas and how they percolated and came there.
So back in 2019, when I
Yeah.
took over after the 2019 show as event director, we had talked pretty extensively about wanting to do a hotel show. And we actually went and we toured a couple of facilities. We're just doing another show in general. But definitely, we had talked about doing a hotel show. And the convention center let us know that they were demolishing the Lexington Center,
Hmm.
building the Central Bank Center. And they told us 5 or 6 days before Scarefest 2019 that the venue wouldn't be available the following year. I mean, because that's exactly what we needed to hear going into one of the most stressful weeks that the show had ever seen for various reasons. But
I
2019
remember
was a
you had
pretty
it
rough.
worse, but yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
we're not. Yeah, we're not going to go into all of that, but it was a really rough year. It was a really hard birth into my role, but a really well fought and earned role that year. But after Scarefest was over, I scheduled us a couple of site tours for some other facilities, and we went and looked at a couple places. And then COVID happened. So it was kind of a moot point. And going into 2021, we knew we were going to have the new convention center, but we still talked about doing a hotel show, but nobody was sure what anything was going to look like coming back from COVID. And, it just one thing after another each year, personal life things, business things. And
Yeah.
at the beginning of 2025, it was not long after the 2024 show. I looked at Brandon and I was like, man, now or never. Like if we're ever going to expand, if we're ever going to do another show,
Yep.
let's pull the trigger on it. And we looked at a couple of other cities. There's a lot of conventions right now. The market's really saturated with events, horror
There's a ton of
events.
small ones.
Yeah,
A
I'm just
ton of
everywhere,
small. A pop-up.
everywhere
I call
you
them the
look.
pop-up ones. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that but that's what our new show would be, right? It would be a
Hmm.
new show. So we looked at a couple cities and it really boiled down to we wanted to stay in Lexington. Most of the group is here. All of our partners and everything that we work with are all here. So yeah, that's why Lexington. We fear change, I guess, but it kind of came down to like looking at different airports, and just infrastructure that the cities that would be within a reasonable driving distance for our core team. Because you mentioned before, like they're the inner circle. And then there's like a mid circle, but I mean, there's like
And
25
I'm
people.
way out there past the solar
No,
system.
no, you're not. But there's like 25, and I think like 21 of the 25 live, within 20 miles of Lexington. So that logistically, that's really what it boiled down to, and that's why we wanted to keep it here.
What were some of can you tell me some of the cities you were thinking about doing a horror show in?
Yeah, my front runner was Columbus.
Yeah, that makes sense because Cincinnati's kind of always got that horror hound thing going on, and that makes
Yeah,
sense to me. Yeah.
exactly. So we didn't want to go into Cincinnati specifically because of Horror Hound. They do a show in the spring. They do a show in the fall. And Louisville hasn't really seemed to have much success with conventions of any fandom.
There's
Um,
a friend of mine and a person he goes, that's where conventions go to die,
and I've heard that from quite a few people.
which makes no sense to me still.
No,
'Cause it's Louisville.
I know I don't get it. There's a lot of really great people that live in Louisville. We have a lot of folks that come to our show from Louisville. The metrics are there. They're great for ticket sales, just not for hosting an event. I don't know what it is. Derby or bust, I guess. But
Yeah.
Columbus was my front runner because it was right in that like travel distance bubble, and You go into Western Kentucky, you go into Eastern Kentucky. There's not a lot of great infrastructure there as far as nearby airports, large chain hotels. That's a big consideration. And then trying to go to the South and stay in that zone, you're looking at Knoxville,
Hmm.
Nashville. Knoxville is extraordinarily saturated with horror events and multi-fandom events. You've got a lot of big Comic Cons that happen down there.
And so
Um,
does Nashville.
and so does Nashville.
And
So,
they both have horror conventions that already happen there, yeah.
yeah. And, and Indianapolis was kind of the same. So, yeah, it just kind of settled on let's stay in Lexington. And it came down to do we want to try to pull off another convention center show and the things that go with it, or and I mean that idea floated in the air for about 3.5 seconds, because what we really want, with Spawn of Scarefest is a show that people can really enjoy the community vibe. After the show every year, hanging out in front of the Hyatt used to be like the pinnacle of like just you've pulled off this great show and now you're relaxing with your friends and in this space, and we want to try to capture the early days of Scarefest. We want to try to capture that sense of camaraderie that you have at the end of the event, and instead of just a couple of hours where you're skipping out on sleep to see your friends, we want to try to pull that and extend it into the whole weekend.
Yeah. I it's well, I've had the privilege of working, and Chad, whenever you're ready to ask questions, just pop up. But I've had sorry, I just left him hanging. But I've had the privilege of being in a lot of the meetings as we've been actually discussing it and things. So what I would what I want to say, what we're trying to do, it is very much you're going to go there and you're not going to leave till
Yes.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
We have stuff planned. Adrian and we spent 20 minutes and we did it quick
Yeah.
today. And it's just making sure that the panels go this. We have thought, all of our colleagues have thought of things that happen at night. There is something going on until 1 or 2 a.m. till Sunday evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every night there is something. So there is no reason if you stay on property because the restaurants, the food trucks, the bars, everything's right there. This is very much of you're going to come. There's the pool. The pool is in between the panel room. It's right outside there was a
Yeah.
bar that we because she had to kept I kept asking where the bar was. Don't worry, folks, there's several. That being there's no, it is very much just come hang out with us, not
Yeah.
come for a few hours and get the one autograph you want and blah. No, no, there is something going on as a smaller show the whole week. It is very, I'm trying to think of a good word, family-esque.
Yeah. I mean,
Familiar. It's
that's
very
right.
low key and just something happening all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And like, for the last several years, going to other events, networking with vendors, with guests, with attendees, like just getting out there and experiencing the community in the spaces that it exists in, which are few and far between, right? Like
Yeah.
trying to create and like a space where that can be the place that you go to meet up with your friends. But it kind of started like, okay, this is what we want. Well, financially, how do we get there? Okay, so in order for us to be able to have the run of the place, right, like we had to rent the entire hotel, like a huge chunk of the guest rooms.
We're literally taking over the Marriott.
Yes, exactly. And it's got an enormous price tag on it. So the model that we're doing this year, it may be a one and done because, the economy sucks right now. Fuel prices are super high. People are stretched between, all of these different events all over the place. And, they're like, well, why would I go to this small scare fest when I can go to the big one in October? And yeah, I mean, if you're going because all you want to do is meet celebrity guests and maybe shop some vendors and then dip, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, October's probably the better bet for you. But I mean, and I've said this a lot. So the folks that are listening, like if you've ever heard me talk about Scarefest, then you've heard this before, but I mean it. Almost everyone in my life is in some Scarefest, and my best friends, like my closest, dearest friends, I met through Scarefest.
Hmm.
And I have numerable like other friends that I met there, but my absolute closest friends in the whole world are in my life because of this show. Um, it's really crazy to think like how things would be different if like I never volunteered with Scarefest. It's unimaginable because it kind of consumes my life. But even for people that don't like work on the show all year round, I think a lot of people can say like, hey, I had this really great experience at Scarefest, and we just want to bring more of that to the table.
Well, I think we've got it going on. We were, there's just so many different things. So may I, and I was trying to explain this during a meeting when we were planning, but can I talk about one of the events? May I
Sure.
talk about one of the events? So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about prom. So we're
Okay.
having a prom Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I realized when we were planning this that everyone was excited but me about the prom on Saturday night. And the reason is I never even went to my own prom.
And you get to reclaim it now, though.
Why?
Why not?
I don't know. I don't even know what to. So we have several mutual, well, we have the same friends. And a couple of them have asked me, what am I going to wear? I don't know. I don't even know what I'd
Are they
wear to a
asking
prom.
you, or they're asking
Asking
you
me what
like,
I would wear to a prom.
okay?
Because I have no desire to get dressed up.
Well, and you don't have to now.
I know.
And that's like when we were planning this, and it's one of the things that kind of fell through the cracks. So, like, what I really wanted to go for with this was like an unprom because a lot of people,
I
I'm sorry,
think it's going to happen that
do,
way.
do you want to say something, Chad? Because you had a hot mic for a second. Come on.
I was literally just going to say, yeah, I never went to my prom either. I don't know if I have the PTSD.
Well,
Right.
this will be fun because I will
I
be
know, I
drunk
know. I'm just playing
with
it would
with
actually
friends.
alleviate from that
Right.
PTSD.
And that's what I'm saying. So like I wanted to do an unprom and kind of like do everything opposite because I feel like, and I've been proven wrong. There's a few prom kings and prom queens in our midst.
Who loved high school. I
Yeah,
just
who
happened
who
to be, you just happened to be talking to two nerds tonight who was that was the worst 4 years of their
well,
lives.
that's what I was gonna say. So like, I feel like I probably had a little bit different high school experience than a lot of people because I don't know if anybody's ever picked up on this, but I have more confidence than I know what to do with. And I was
Well,
much the
you told
same
me.
as a child and in high school. And I, anyway, I attracted every outcast, every shy person, every neurodivergent person. Like when anyway, so prom, like for me, I rocked it. I loved it, but a lot of people didn't have.
And Wes was like prom king, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Wes was prom king. Nathan was prom king. Like,
Oh, are you serious? Nathan was
yes,
prom king?
yes.
I'm trying to picture Wes Forsythe as a prom
Have you
king.
seen Wes from high school? He was a hottie. I mean, he still is a hottie, but he was a hottie in high school. He was.
Yeah,
He had
he was.
purple hair.
If you're into that country type with the full grown beard at 15,
Right. Yeah.
Wes,
Hmm.
that
So
was.
with like a unprom, I wanted to make it something where people could come into this if they had a bad experience or no experience or even a positive one, but like to kind of reclaim it and let you do all the cool fun stuff like that you maybe didn't get to do at your prom, but now like you can do that with people like with these the horror themes and like the cool photo ops and stuff. Like I just think that it's going to be an opportunity for people to have a good time and not have like the pressure of, oh my god, I have to see all of these people in class on Monday.
I know that I agree with. So the cool thing is I've already talked to a couple of people, and you already know thing one and thing two, they're rooming together. Let's say their names start with B and J.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I was so which one of you are taking me? What are you all were? Because they were both. I was like, I don't know. I don't even. I actually asked Kat, and if you're listening to this, Catherine, who does ASL and has been with me on the stage for 8 years now, she's going to be staying there. I was like, I need to use your room. Why do you need to use my room for costume changes?
Yeah, that's right.
Because I don't know what I want to wear, but I am slightly excited about doing it with a bunch of people I actually like.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. Like I can count on one hand the amount of times throughout the year that I like get dressed up. And I have already like I don't get excited. I hate clothes shopping. I don't, but I ordered a $20 dress off of Amazon and
Maybe
I'm
I should do that.
ready. I order a $20 dress on Amazon.
I'm not joking.
I'm not either. It was fabulous.
I'm talking about for
And
me.
yeah, you do it, wear it, rock it. I mean, there's a few
Even with
people.
the chest hair.
Yes, with the chest hair, absolutely with the chest hair, and you know, and you might be able to like put a couple little braids in there, wear some beads in it. Make
Chad, fetch me my best sundress, please.
I'm just going to squirt a bunch of Elmer's glue on you and toss glitter at your face, at your chest.
well, and we have banned glitter. There's no glitter on the property,
Oh, son of a gun.
so you're gonna have to do it like out on the street, like Newtown Pike. You can glitter him out there, but not in our hotel. You're not.
And the prom is open to whom?
So for the first hour, the event's going to be all ages. There's a lot of folks that are coming. They're bringing their kids, and they're really, really excited about getting a chance to come in to see the decorations, take photos and stuff. So we're going to be all ages family friendly for the first hour from 9 to 10. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to make an announcement on the stage. I don't exactly know what that announcement's going to be, but it's going to say something to the effect of the underage time is over and the adult time is beginning. Please, if you have underage children, they need to be elsewhere besides this building.
Yeah, I get it. No, I'm looking forward
Kids
to it.
leave, everybody
What?
drop their pants.
There was a suggestion that maybe Wes, do a strip tease at 10:15 to make sure it's clear.
Dun, dun,
It give me the
dun, dun,
vapors.
dun.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go through this, shall we? Another huge thing that we're going to have this year. Do you want to talk about the Friday noon movie?
Yes, I am really excited to talk about that.
I don't know if
From
Chad knows it yet or not.
from the moment that the Scary
Nope.
Movie 6 release date got moved from June 12th to June 5th, I have been plotting this. So we're going to do a screening. It's a matinee screening, 12:30 p.m., which is afternoon, just after
Mhm.
12 noon, before 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yep.
12:30 p.m. screening of Scary Movie 6 with Lachlan Monroe, John Abrahams, and Felissa Rose.
Who are all in the movie.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know if it's going to make the final cut or not, but one of our vendors, Jason Fantastic, who runs Fantastic Horror Shop, he actually went and filmed as an extra in the movie, and he's wearing a suit in the movie. We don't know if it's going to make it in yet or not, but he got to keep the suit, and he's going to wear it to the premiere. And if he makes it on screen, then everybody will be able to see him on screen and get photos with him in his costume after.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I here this is a shameless plug. So I fake my confidence. Actually, I'm only confident a couple times. I'm usually if I'm on stage, I'm confident. I've got that down. But everything else I fake. But yeah, I'll be emceeing that, and I'm actually really excited about that.
It's gonna be a really
Yeah.
fun time.
It should be fun for everybody. And those tickets are already on sale. You
Yep.
better get them quick if you're listening to this because they will be sold out before that day. A bunch
And
of, you told me several of them have already gone.
yeah, yes, they have. And the other thing, the theater that they're screening it in is the LFX, which is the biggest theater in the state of Kentucky. It's
It's huge.
yeah, it's an 80-foot theater, and it's got like state of the art laser projector. Like it's fancy.
Is
So
that the same one we did where we did Lloyd's movie last year, or did we do it or 2 years ago or three? I can't remember which theater it was in. Chad, do you remember that theater was the Friday
It
the
was a
13th?
small one. It
It
was a
was a
small one on
small
the
one
first floor.
yeah.
because we did two or three that year over at Lex Live, if you
Mhm.
remember, Adrian, and that was all went well.
Yeah, Lex Live has been great. They're really enthusiastic about, doing this. They're gonna have, I believe they're gonna have like some specials, like, popcorn and drink specials and things like that. And because we're not right next door, we're not gonna be able to do all of the normal festivities that we do at Lex Live. So being able to incorporate
I
this,
agree.
has been great. Really excited. Looking forward to the things we're working on in October as well. Some really cool events we're planning.
But we're talking about Spawn right
But we're
now.
talking about Spawn right now. But we're just talking about how great Lex Live is, and I want to give them and Cameron a huge shout out for
I
being
can't wait to start planning these panels because
yeah,
we're going to have the best Evil Dead show
ever,
ever,
literally
and
ever.
ever that's ever existed come
Yep.
October.
Yep.
I didn't know about Fetty. You could
Yeah.
have knocked me over with a feather.
I'm so glad. And like, that's one thing people, so like a lot of times, even the people that are closest in planning the event,
I told you I was out there past the solar system.
right, but I don't tell anybody, like, even, well, for a couple of reasons. One of them is the Alan Tudyk effect, because we
Yeah.
booked Alan a couple of years ago, and 3 days after we booked him, before we even announced him, he had to cancel due to a scheduling conflict, and
Yep.
it crushed me. I was so excited, and I'd only told a handful of people, but then also those people, they were crushed because, so if you just don't know, you still get these moments of like joy when you see the announcements.
I
And
know.
so, I don't like taking that away from people. So
It
yeah.
crushes us too, though. Like
Yeah.
you just said, it's like when you and Brandon drew straws. You didn't really draw straws, but about who was going to tell me that Joe Dante wasn't going to make it. Do you remember this?
And Brandon drew that straw.
I don't know how you actually, but you did tell me that you went back and forth about who was going to tell me.
Yes.
And then I ponied up the dough, drove up, Chad and I did, met him, and well, I'll tell that story later.
Yeah.
Wasn't as excited as I hoped it would be.
Sorry.
That's okay. So they can do that. They can start there. Then what is the next thing that's happening? What time's the event start?
Sure. So 12:30 for the screening of
Mm-hmm.
the movie, and then the doors open for VIPs at 3:30 on Friday, which is a
Yep.
little bit different than a weekend. We do a full hour at weekend, but we have way, way, way more VIPs and early entry folks for weekend than we do for Spawn. And we've got way more celebrity guests that weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes early entry for those VIP folks. They can get on the floor at 3:30, and then general admission is going to open at 4.
Yeah.
And we're going to have the show going from 4 to 9, and we've got events planned during the day. We've got events planned during the evening. We're going to go all the way up until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Let's go through that. So our
Sure.
first panel, we've got a big panel at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we decided to do 5.
We're going to
For
do 5 o'clock with a guy who's a wonderful storyteller. So if
Yeah.
you get there, that should be the panel room. And this is, I guess it sounds like I'm not, but I'm being self-serving. I am a little bit, but also they need to know the panel room is maybe a 2-minute walk
Yeah.
from the actual, and we will have signs there. It's really just literally right next to the pool. So if you can walk to the pool, another 10 seconds, you'll be at the panel room. It's air
Yeah.
conditioned. It's huge. It's not much. Well, okay, we had that huge panel room this last year, and I
Right.
remember
But
another person who works at another convention going, "Did you feel that?" And I go, "Yes, we did sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, we did, and it was
Yeah.
cool. It was
Yeah.
cool."
That was great.
I loved it. Anyway, and I think the audience loved it too. But we'll have plenty of room for everybody, hopefully for most of them. But so 5 o'clock, and then we'll have another 6 o'clock panel.
Yep.
Then at 7, what time is our at 9 o'clock we do karaoke?
Yep. We're going to have a little changeover of that room. We're going to have karaoke at 9.
Hmm.
And that'll be great. That'll go from like 9 to 12. We've got a poolside movie starting at 10 if you're not really into karaoke. But we've also got other events going on too. And the schedule is not completely final, so I'm not going to say exactly when and where all the
Oh no,
events.
I just wanted people to kind of know that
For
I'm trying to
those
get a general idea.
for those people for karaoke, don't worry, I am practicing my hanging tough as we speak.
We've got
He's good at it.
bedtime stories. We've got a really cool event that's going on that we can't do at the, I guess you could do it at the convention center, but um, John from Doomsday's Crypt and Danny Hassel are putting together a jam session. So there's going to be a couple people there. They're going to have some different like guitars and they're going to have some drums and
Is
just
this going to be near the fire pits?
it's going to be on the Bluegrass Pavilion patio, which is
Hmm.
right next to the fire pits.
Right,
But
right, right.
they kind of give them that flat space and electrical outlet. So
Dad joke coming in five, four, three, two, one. Are they going to have boysenberry
I don't get it.
I don't.
jam session?
Boysenberry was a okay. This is a deep cut.
Yeah.
I used to have to drive his ass to IHOP, and there
Now
wasn't an
I'm gonna now
IHOP
I'm
in
just gonna hide
Lexington,
I'm gonna hide underneath my Wolf
all the
Nards hoodie.
way to Huntington, West Virginia, so he could get boysenberry syrup because
That's not
IHOP
true.
has boysen.
That's not true at all. I got the goddamn Denver omelet.
But didn't you want boysenberry and they only had it at IHOP?
Yeah,
Then
Yeah.
what isn't true?
because I
Sorry,
got the Denver omelet.
this none of this is interesting to anybody.
Well,
Go back.
I'll
He's
tell
not
you,
getting boysenberry. He's not jam.
at my toy show this weekend, there was another group set up in the other side of the hotel in the convention center, and they were selling like jams and jellies. And I was looking at all the different ones that they had, and one of them was called Traffic Jam. And I was like, that's super cute. And they're like, yeah, there's another one we have, but we're sold out of it right now called Toe Jam.
Chad would
I,
buy it.
I would have bought it.
Yeah, she said it was their most popular one.
I see that. So the
Yeah.
movies at 10, not to change this up, movies at 10 o'clock,
We're gonna
and then
start the pool movies at 10, and then like the main feature, we'll have one at 10 and we'll have one at midnight.
one at midnight, right?
Yep.
And they'll all be by the pool.
Yep.
Then we start back over again the next morning at 10 a.m.
Yes. Let's see. That'll
You just look so excited because I will never make it through the second movie. I will, right? That won't even well, maybe it will. I don't know. It depends on how my weekend and what my kids are doing. But
so the VIP entry is actually at 10:30, not
okay,
10 because
sorry.
30 minutes, but 10:30 for VIP, and then general admission is at 11.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll have programming during the day. We'll have things going on outside the show floor, panels. We've got,
Panels start at 1 o'clock right now. We
yeah,
instead of starting them at 12, we decided to start them at 1 just to give
yeah,
everybody a couple hours to breathe and look around before we get them
yeah, exactly.
acclimated.
I just want to point out one thing to our viewers on YouTube and Adrian. I am not grabbing what you think I'm grabbing. My knee literally is aching
I thought he was grabbing his
Aw.
from an
Kojak.
injury, and I'm
I
over
wouldn't, I wouldn't
putting.
think you had to reach that far down for that.
Oh, just sit there and smoke,
You
Chad
say
Jennings.
you're reaching for your knee, man.
The hoodie's coming back on. The hoodie's coming back on. I'm in my hole.
Cover all that up. Anyway, so panels start at 1. We have a 45-minute panel every hour on the hour
I can't get this
till
fucking thing off my head. There we go.
he's going to choke himself out, and then we still won't go viral. Then I think and I can't, I guess you don't want to, until we get the panel schedule out, I do want to talk about something that is just Bonehead Weekly, that Bonehead Weekly is hosting. We are going to have our very first show and tell. Now, I can't remember who pitched this idea, but I was all about it when we were doing the planning meetings. Do you remember who pitched it? Because I don't think I pitched the idea.
Me?
Was it you?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to do that. And we can have juice boxes and snacks and the whole thing. And this is exactly how this is going to work.
It'd
Yeah.
be great if we could get those mats that we had to lay on.
Well, the problem is flipping that room because we're going to have to do it in
Yeah.
the room. But we'll
Yeah.
bring it up on stage one thing at a time, and then we will accost you as you're showing us your thing. But the boneheads, and I'm going to have, and Brandon has already been told behind the scenes, He has to bring, I'm going to bring a couple of my, I'll try not to say big dick posters, but I'm going to bring a couple of mine, which is a pain in the ass to transport all the way out there, but I'm going to do it. He needs to bring a couple of his so we can put them in the back.
Yep.
And then we're going to start, and then we're going to, you are going, so if you found something that weekend, great. But what we really want you to do is bring something, especially, I think this, for some of our people who come every year, because
Yep.
we have so many loyal fans. Someone said something the other day behind the scenes, and I thought it was so accurate about Scarefest, and I thought it was one of the best compliments. They were talking about their show, and it was like, well, every year you see kind of the same 30%, and then it's different. Scarefest, it is the same 70 or 80% every year.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yes.
That's not an exaggeration. And that was somebody who has zero to do with Scarefest.
Um,
The loyalty is crazy. So what I want, and this is, and Chad, please back me up on this, although I just kind of pitched it to Chad and James, and they were like, sure, is that we want you to bring something. If you can't pack it, if you got it, that's fine. Just bring one of your best collectibles. And then we're going to figure out a way to maybe have a first, second, and third place, maybe, or just after we get done. Something that'll make it a little special for somebody trying to. And I don't know. I was thinking maybe we can have them on the show to talk about their collectible or their collection, something like that.
that'd
Whoever
be really
wins.
cool.
Yeah, we will do a whole thing. Chad, what do you think? We haven't really talked about it till right
Yeah,
then.
it's just I have a problem.
What?
I unfortunately don't have collectibles.
So if you're listening to this, first of all, you probably have listened to a lot of this, and you know that he has got a whole. Yeah, it's not quite as bad as me, but it's bad. Yeah, he's
What's
being a
behind
dumbass.
you?
That he just has a thing
That,
for Brandon
that,
Routh.
that's a green screen.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so we'll probably have you. Yeah, yeah, no, I got that beat. So we would like to do that. I don't know what other ideas do you have for us to do?
I couldn't get it to scan over to see
Maybe we can also get a couple of Scarefest giveaway things to go along with it too. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like some swag. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think so.
Yeah, so and maybe also if you come do this, I do know that we said juice boxes and other things, but let's to be truthful, we often have some sort of liquids
If only we could
at
get
most of
ecto
our live
coolers.
tapings, so you should totally do this. We may try to record it. I don't know yet. It'd be kind of hard to do as an episode, but
What's the
definitely
chances
want
of
to.
High C releasing ecto coolers by the time Scare Spawn comes out?
Can't you still get it though? Don't they still have them?
No, they're expired by now.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking of like a regional thing. That's one of those things. So what else do we have that night we go once we're done with the panel room, that closes up. What time's the show close? 7?
That no, we actually changed it to 8 o'clock on
Okay.
Saturday. Wanted to make sure that I didn't screw that up.
No, I couldn't remember the 10:30, 11. So please.
It's we went back and forth on the hours.
I
They're
remember.
similar to weekend, but they're for the most part they're a little bit different too. So 8 o'clock for the show closing on Saturday. That's going to give people about an hour between 8 and 9 o'clock when the prom starts.
Hey, Chad, Adrienne
Mm.
just texted me and she didn't want this to be live on the air, but she said we can see your computer screen in the background. Please don't look at porn. If I swear to God, I didn't make any of that up. She was trying not to do it on the air, but it's much funnier if we just bring it out in the open.
Well, here's the funny part.
You were looking at porn?
No, but the website I'm on is called comingsoon.net.
Is that still operational?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movie websites.
Oh, I haven't been to it in a long time. Anyway,
Yeah,
you were saying, Adrian, about
he
And when it go
adjusted,
and by the way, when my face went dark, I was on the Spawn site.
he adjusted the camera when he like panned and showed everything, so you can't really see it now. But in that reflection in that cabinet behind him, you could perfectly. He was scrolling and you could see everything, and I'm just like waiting for like boobs to pop up.
No, it was literally I was
That'd be
looking at
really funny if he was watching porn while he was doing bone. It explained a
I
lot over the
I
years.
had it. I have it on this website that I read during the workday, but I also had it on Spawn of Scarefest and then Scarefest.
Anybody
Well,
into scotch?
heck yeah.
That's when I was scrolling because I'm just like,
Well,
something. I need.
I just
What do I need to ask Adrian about?
I just made that comment when you like reached way down, and I was like, I cannot. He's gonna think I'm roasting him, and like I can't roast Chad and then Chad again without roasting Joe. Like,
You've
yeah.
done it to me for years. I used to be the one you would pick on as soon as you would do the volunteer meetings.
Well, I mean, yeah, I
I
have
don't
to
blame
protect
you.
people somehow.
I don't blame
You're
you.
the
I'm,
whipping boy.
I'm wearing a Wolf Nards hood. I'm wearing a Wolf Nards hoodie. I wouldn't look at porn.
Well, you just wouldn't know what to do with it.
What's that?
So anyway, the show at 8. What do we have at 8 o'clock so that they don't go home? Do they go get dressed for the prom?
They can go and get dressed for the prom. We're gonna have a few things going on. Let's see. On Saturday, but I think we'll have show and tell 6 to 7,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
yeah, we'll have let's see. We
and
don't
that's
have anything definitively scheduled during that 8 o'clock window, so it'll give people a chance, take a break, grab some dinner, get
yep.
changed, and come down to prom.
That's actually exactly as soon as I'm done with show and tell, that's probably I'm going to grab something so that I don't and eat something so that I
Yes.
don't do something stupid when I'm later consuming other things.
Oh, right, right.
Who am I kidding? I'll still do something stupid.
Well, but
I just won't be belligerently stupid.
exactly. No, that's all we can hope for. So yeah,
That's so. Was that? Is that me, Chad, or is that condescending? Oh God, it's all we can hope for. This isn't belligerently stupid.
that
Fine.
is a broad statement for
Yeah.
everyone, not directed specifically at you.
No, no.
It wasn't me.
There's a colleague that reminded us that we could drink, that we just shouldn't drink to that excess. Like, don't take your clothes off and jump in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can keep your clothes on and jump in.
And jump in the pool,
Yeah,
right?
don't take them off.
By the
And
way,
then,
Wolf Nards. I, me.
If you're listening to this, Chad was trying to show his undershirt, ripped off, somehow knocked
And
the
that literally
microphone
hit
down right
me.
into his nards.
Yeah, it literally just hit me in the nards.
Oh
Oh,
my God. So we've got prom. And do we know who the band is, the DJ? Have we announced any of that yet?
so we're not going to have a specific DJ. Well, Jay Ritchie, that does karaoke for us,
Hmm.
is also going to be DJing for us
Good.
on Saturday. So Jay Ritchie and Livewire Entertainment.
by
So
the way,
what kind of music are they?
if they play Casey and JoJo's All My Life, I will run out of the room screaming.
Tell him he's not invited. So what kind of music do you give him a set list? A set
Well,
list?
Lola's actually, she made a post about that in the group, like, hey, what do you want to hear? And then she's
Oh my
going
God,
to
I
say
missed it.
By the way, Joe
amount.
just said I wasn't invited. So yeah, welcome back to my prom PTSD. Thanks, Joe.
You're invited.
You can be my date.
Hey,
You can be in my harem.
Aaron.
Aw.
Yeah.
No, I can't be. Look.
Oh, that's okay.
She
That's,
doesn't
I
have
got
a
enough
bald
hair.
one yet, Chad.
I was gonna say I got enough hair for both of us, man. Just listen, stand next to
Sweet.
me, and I'll droop my hair over, and we can share it.
She does not have a bald one yet.
I
I
can
gotta,
A
I can
bald one, not a
I can
bald one.
pretend to be the singer of Winger.
gotta catch them all.
The diseases.
Oh,
What's
keep
the next
talking.
thing that we've got?
We can talk about.
I'm a
We're doing
Snorlax.
Jaws. Do you want to talk about Jaws? Is that the next thing
Oh,
after prom?
yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have a 10 o'clock movie on Saturday. I believe the 10 o'clock movie is going to be Sleepaway Camp. We might do Lake Placid on Friday night at 10 o'clock. I've gotta go back and look. I can't
That
remember.
10 o'clock movie is going to be rough with the prom going on.
Yeah, and that's maybe Lake
But
Placid.
it's Bridget Fonda and Betty White.
Oh, I'm sorry. The midnight movie on Friday is Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
The 10 o'clock movie on Friday is is it Ghost Ship or Piranha? I can't remember. It's one of those.
Oh,
And then Lake Placid is going to be the 10 o'clock movie on Saturday. So Lake Placid will be playing. Probably everybody will still be at the prom, but Betty
Prom.
White's going to get her moment if it's the last thing
Awesome.
I do.
Don't forget,
She has one of
I'll-
the best lines in movie history.
and don't forget, one of the best actors of all time, Oliver Platt.
It's a thing for Bonehead. I don't expect you to listen to it, but he's a character actor in it who keeps calling the sheriff fat. He's the guy that's deciding
Fine.
He's one of my favorite actors.
of all
Yeah.
time. Yeah, we're big fans of Oliver. We're the only ones who showed up to the Lake Placid reunion going, Oliver, Oliver. So, and then we're doing Jaws, and you can get in the pool and watch Jaws at
Yeah,
midnight.
What
absolutely.
a hack movie.
So let's get through this. So
Uh-huh.
Sunday, we open again at 11 or 12.
We need a bigger boat. So clever.
We open at 10 o'clock on Sunday, and there is
What?
no VIP early entry on Sunday.
Why do
I
we
wanted
open at 10:30 and it, what I still didn't understand that. While, and I was in the room whilst it was being discussed.
Now I get it, man. I don't know. I'm confused too, but it's what we agreed on. So, and I think part of it isn't so much the early hour on Saturday, it's the long day.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. It's going to be tough because
Because
we don't have a panel till 1 o'clock
right. So
on
going like
Sunday.
10 a.m. to 8 p.m. is 10 hours on the show floor, and it's just yeah. So we cut an hour off the top on Saturday, but on Sunday we'll be 10 to 5, and that 10 is general admission too, and yeah, that'll be good.
So I want to say, because we kind of went over the brief, I do want to talk about a few of the guests, if you don't mind. I'm
Sure.
really excited that we've got several people from the original Texas Chainsaw there. And I'm very excited for a very selfish reason,
What's
is
that?
that I've got an original one sheet
Are you
and
bringing it?
gunners on it.
Uh-huh.
So several people who are
Ooh.
no longer with us are
Sure.
on it.
Yep.
And I've not, that's another reason why I was telling you today is like, well, if he's not too crazy, let's get him. I won't say who.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm almost willing to chip in some money or that. And Bonehead presents.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited. We've got Skeet,
Yeah, you can add it to your next to your Hooper. Oh,
Chad drop dead. Okay, there's a story here. I was supposed to meet Toby Hooper in Chicago. Toby Hooper, basically, who's the director. I'm sorry, Adrian. I forget that you actually don't
I know.
not the big. You're not the
Jaws.
biggest geek on earth,
Yeah, I know who he is, at least.
right?
Or
Well, he would. It's notorious for flaking on conventions,
hmm
and then he didn't show, and then he died.
right. I said Jaws and I meant Texas Chainsaw, but I
Texas
knew that
Chainsaw.
because I have been booking so many people from this movie. I have read about it a lot. I
Yeah,
have seen it before. I mean, I'll go on record and say I have seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it did come out
before you were born.
16 years before I was born.
Yeah, it came out before Chad and I were born too, as old as we are, especially as old as Chad is.
What Joe means is before he was reborn
That's true.
Okay.
as a Christian.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Fucking A.
Uh,
I thought it was.
I
Is it?
kick
It's
ass for the
Toby.
Lord,
I thought it
Chad.
was Toby.
No, it's Toby. It's pronounced Toby.
it's
I know.
Toby.
Chad used to do the same thing when I first met him. He called him Tobe Hooper too,
Yeah, that's what I thought it
but
was. So
there's a
I'm
reason
glad you
it's
said
spelled.
that. I've never
No,
heard it out loud.
yeah, it is. So I'm excited about that. We've got Skeet. Skeet's
Yeah.
going to be big. It's got. I don't. Is that our biggest name so
You
far?
know, I thought so. And still, yeah, he's kind of hanging in like on our measurables right now. Yes. But a couple years ago when I went to Horror Hound
I
and
was with you.
were there, Dead Meat stole the show that year.
I didn't remember. So you were there all weekend, and I was only
Yeah.
there Friday night because we were all hanging out. And I remember they had a line, but I've still never listened to them. Chad, have you ever listened to them?
Mm-mm.
And I've heard their
No.
show is phenomenal.
You
Uh,
haven't listened to them either?
no, no, I don't have like I can maybe watch like one new to me thing a week. I do have a couple of YouTube channels that have like 20-minute true crime podcasts that I'll put on to fall asleep to. But I mean, I can't even say like that I finish an episode of that. I normally sleep in like 10 minutes. So,
Well, sleep
uh,
too. And then he murdered his wife.
yeah. And then,
Tune in next week when we talk about the Butcher of the Hollow.
yeah.
And
And
Adrian's
then
snoring, going,
peaceful sleep. Exactly. The horrors persist, but so do I.
so do I. I love that.
Yeah.
I send that meme to people from time to
I
time.
have a little Daisy in a
Hmm.
flower pot on my refrigerator that's all smiley and says that. But yeah, so who else are we excited to
Uh,
see?
I've missed him every single time because of personal issues. I'm excited that Terry Kaiser is going to be there
Yeah.
Okay. And I
because
was
not
telling,
all.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No.
I was just going to say, so hopefully we can I maybe hear some not only his his horror work, but also the fact that he was on one of my favorite shows of all time, Night Court. But also too, we Joe and I think would love to hear a story of Jeff Burr from when he was on From a Whisper to a Scream.
So, funny enough, I was telling Adrian earlier, I will say, unless something happens, you should get to hear some stories out of Terry Kaiser, right, Adrian?
Yes.
Yes. And I will tell you, and I thought we talked about this. He just wants to sit around and tell stories. There's a few people who I've met over the years that just want to sit around and tell some stories and they love it. And they love it in front of a bunch of people. Him, John C. McGinley. There's just several that just our old friend Mick Strawn, friend of the show, friend of Scarefest. They're just really good at telling stories.
So you brought up Terry Kaiser on Night Court, and it says he was on the show like four different times.
Mhm.
Did you watch it in totality or just certain episodes?
No, I've seen every episode of Night Court multiple times.
Yeah, Night Court's one of the bonehead things that connects us.
Yeah, it was that was my show.
He's also on an episode of Golden Girls, Adrian, if you're a Golden Girls fan.
Well, and
I asked him about B. Arthur.
I saw a little thing about Girls recently, and I was like, man, I really need to go back and watch that. But let me tell you all something really embarrassing that happened to me recently,
Yeah.
and you'll either not care, or you'll tease me about it until I die.
Well,
I was on the phone with an agent the other day, and we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and just trying to get a couple other people. And again, this was several weeks ago, so we were going through, who I'd reached out to, and this and that. And he said, is there anybody else? And there was someone had texted me the day before, and they had sent me one of the actors from the movie that
mhm.
I had not had a chance to even look into at all, but I did not know him. So I was like, oh yeah, there is one more. Let me grab his name. It's I might not say this right. It's John Larroquette. And he laughed at me. Just like you all just did. He
Oh my
laughed at
God.
me and he was like, yeah, good luck with that. And I was like, what, is he dead? Like, because that's the reaction I got. Like, well, dude's been dead for 20 years. Like, you're not gonna get him. And he's like,
No, he's famous.
yeah, he's like, no, he's just he's not ever done a show that I'm aware of, and he's pretty well known. And he's like, have you ever seen Night Court? And I was like, I've never even heard of Night Court. Like, I don't know what that is. So I had to Google it.
Adrian.
He's on the reboot. There's a reboot of it right now from the lady from the good. You've heard of the Big Bang
Big
Theory,
Theory,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay. Well, he's the one of the women on it is in the reboot star, and he's on the
Oh, I
reboot.
see. He's in the reboot. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
You've heard of Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
He and Daniel Radcliffe were on stage together on a. It's new. Have you ever heard of New York City?
Yes.
Where they have this special place. What's it called,
Broadway.
Chad? That's it. So you've heard of Broadway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was on Broadway with Harry Potter.
Is that when Daniel Radcliffe finished doing Harry Potter and didn't want to be typecasted as the boy who lived forever? So
There's
like,
tons of things he's done since then to keep from
no,
being typecast,
but
but
like right after. I know he went to the.
maybe I don't remember. They were in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. By the way, I know what Broadway is. I was trying to yeah, so
I know.
they just so
I'm
yeah,
like, but that's one I know though. I can't
Yeah.
answer that. I know that one.
what do you want to hear a funny story of how he's the narrator?
Tell me.
So he and Toby Hooper knew each other and then they smoked pot together.
Somebody did tell me that actually.
That's true. That's true. I heard it from John. Well, I didn't hear it, but John Larroquette talked about it, and he was like, "Well," and then he was like, "Well, I need somebody to do." I think he was the second person to do the narration.
Well, and like,
Oddly enough, they brought him back for the remake, and
yeah.
he says for the most part he gets asked, but he forgot that he did it because it was the early '70s, and he smoked pot, and he got a couple $100 for doing it.
And I mean, like, I get it now because I looked into him like having his own show and everything, but like, um,
No, if you could get John Larroquette for anything, yeah, it
Any,
would be huge.
well, that's what I was about to say. Like, after he said that, it kind of made me just like want to do it more. So now,
Yeah.
obviously not for Spawn, but I'm putting it on the list. Like, this is gonna have to be something that I'm gonna
Oh
try to
yeah.
have to do for a weekend. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Chat
gonna say
chat.
dead. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you would be excited. I would
Oh,
be
I would
excited.
be
I'd be over the
very,
moon.
very much so. Even just for to talk to him about Second Sight,
That's a not a good. He was in some bad movies
I
and
will punch you in the fucking nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, and it looks
Um,
like there were only 3 people that were in Night Court for like every episode.
yeah,
And
and
it was-
it's him and Marsha Warfield are the only ones that are still alive.
Yeah,
did you
everybody.
all know that he was also the narrator for the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I
'Cause
love you, but did you hear me earlier when I was saying they even brought him back for the remakes and stuff?
no, you said that, but I thought you were talking about the Night Court remake because we were just talking
No,
about.
no, 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 no. He did the narration for the, but that's been the joke of doesn't really even remember doing it other than
Uh,
being friends with Toby Hooper. I think they were in Colorado smoking pot. I think that's how the story. I'd have to go back and check this out.
yeah, and
There's a
and I
there's a
don't know.
really weird way of it. It shouldn't have never happened that way. It's a way when people ask me how I got involved with all this stuff, and I always say, "Well, I got involved in Scarefest," and I try to explain. It's like it shouldn't have happened that way. It's just weird of how it happened.
Well, and what's really funny is like anybody that knows me and pays any attention to anything at all knows that I would not be qualified to do like to make the decisions for booking on this, which is why we have a Brandon Griffith. B, we have a guest request thread that people think, oh, that's just to get us to shut up. No, it is not. We literally take all of those comments and Diana sorts them into a spreadsheet and she uses fancy computer magic to tally up how many times this comment was mentioned and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I mean, there are metrics and tools that I use because my own personal knowledge of film and television would not sustain a flea market. So,
No, but you're pretty.
and I'm good with spreadsheets,
Yeah, there you go. And
at
and
spreadsheets.
and managing all of the chaos.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Gracefully.
what but one of the good things that you do is managing the chaos. I will say it about you and Brandon, my bosses. Uh, you tend to leave the competent folks the hell alone.
I hope so.
And I appreciate you for that.
You know, I'm so glad that you
I
said
never
okay.
need anybody. I
Yep.
need to know who, when, where, and how. In fact, if you could uninvite me to less meetings, that would be great.
Uh-huh.
Not that I don't like you all. It's just it's normally my little bit's about this much of the greater thing.
Well, and but I will say this though, like as far as the planning and stuff goes of the meetings, and we have scaled back quite a bit with Spawn and
Yeah.
not drag everybody into the planning meetings, but even if the part that you are directly responsible for over the weekend, like your perspectives on things, like it's still really, really valuable to have like sounding boards and like, hey,
Yeah, I appreciate that.
this could be like the dumbest idea I've ever had, or it could be genius. I don't know. Y'all need to tell me.
I,
And
I
I've had some really dumb ideas.
no, I haven't really ever heard any dumb ideas, and even the ideas that I did, we usually can morph it into something that would work,
Well, that's true. We
like
can.
show and tell.
I
And then
would.
it's like, oh, with the three group, me and my two best friends will do that, and that'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
People will actually do it and get involved. That'll be hilarious.
I've
Yeah.
got two in this room that I'm bringing. So
Or do you really? You have two? I'm trying to go. I'm going back and forth. I've actually been thinking about
if
this.
you tell me three, I can bring three. I mean, good Lord, there's plenty.
Chad, bring whatever you want.
Oh no, I can't.
Just bring whatever. Oh, Adrian's getting sleepy. We got to wrap up pretty soon. Okay, so we've went over all the Spawn stuff, but yes, I do appreciate you doing it.
And my God,
What are
by
you
the
going to
way,
say? You like
one
hearing
more
that?
thing about Spawn and Scarefest, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two amazing guests that are coming, Devin Sawa and Heather Mazzarosso. I mean, that's amazing.
So a shout out to our film and a friend of the show, friend of ours, friend of everybody's, Barbara, who did give me and Adrian this advice, and I do. we can I talk about that a little bit? We're
Yeah.
going to try to have her. So instead of doing a big screen panel, we're going to do a little more individual. And because she doesn't get to do, because she's in Welcome to the Dollhouse,
You better mention the couple of the big ones. Go ahead.
what?
Go ahead. I want to hear you. If you don't mention them,
Well, go ahead and say it because
no,
you
no,
get
no, no.
the whole two
I
hours and a
want to
half.
see what you're going to list.
I don't know. I just
The
was.
Devil's Advocate,
Oh, I forgot she was in that.
Saved. She's
Uh,
been in. She's been in a lot of great movies.
so we're going to give her own panel.
54, for God's sake. She was in 54.
We're going to give her own panel chat.
Yeah, she deserves it.
So shout out to Barbara for that. And I was as
And
soon
if
as
you
I
get
heard it, I was
Devin
like,
Sawa on a panel, if you don't talk about Hunter x Hunter, you're getting punched.
well, I liked it, and we will probably make that happen. I don't know. I would go ahead and talk about the panel schedule if people would just, and by people I mean Adrian would go, "Yep, that's it." Literally what it is just you've got to connect with the agents, and we've got to. It's not all up to us, correct, Adrian? For people who don't know how this works,
Yeah, we
it's
need
a
to
little
confirm.
easier probably for the hotel show to say you're going to do your panel on X, Y, and Z, though.
That's what I was about to say. The only thing is just we did talk about it in the planning meeting earlier tonight. I ran through it with everybody. Logistically, it seems sound. The only thing that the last thing we have to check is to make sure that we don't have any photo op times that are set in stone. Some people say, I'm going to do my photo ops at 2 o'clock on Saturday, period.
Yeah.
But that's the last thing I have to check, and after that, we're good. So, if you're listening to this, if you take everything that we say tonight with a grain of salt and understand that the schedule is subject to change, things are subject to change, but this is our best laid plans and what we hope to happen, then you can talk about everything we talked about earlier today.
Whatever
Yes.
happens, whatever gets canceled, whatever, it's going to be fun no matter what. So please come.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just a small, intimate kind of thing where we're going to hang out with each other all weekend long, where we're going to have a good time, where we're going to make some good, bad decisions, where we're
And you
going,
may see me at prom in the corner eating a bunch of brownies and crying, but it's okay.
but they're pot brownies. So he'd be crying about all the PTSD from his childhood. He's just reliving stuff. It's not the event itself, right? That's not the event itself.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's over there, I was like, why didn't that dog love me? We don't know. He never had a dog.
Hey, she's right there.
Well, it's funnier, Chad, if I just do the thing. Just saying. So, thank you so much for coming on talking about Spawn. I'm going to drop this, and so everybody will know about what we've got going on, where it's going to
Mhm.
be, all the other things. I appreciate you for all the opportunities.
He's
Any other thing I need to suck up to you about?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's got to make it through his checklist. You don't have to suck up to me.
I actually don't really suck up to you. I actually tell you
You
genuinely
know,
how I feel every
well,
time.
let me tell you this for anybody who's listening, and not that Joe needs any help with his ego, but
I
out of
fake it.
all of the positions at Scarefest, volunteer, admin, paid, does not matter. The position that I find that I have to defend against intruders more 20 times more than anything else is how many people email me asking to moderate panels. And like
Yeah,
two
because it's the dog.
today.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like just today. And I'm like, you know what? I had one guy and he was like, I would love to moderate a panel for Corey Taylor. And I'm like, I'm sure you would. I'm sure that you would. No, it's covered. Thank you. Like
There's the most competition for my job.
it's not even competition. Like, I mean, I guess if I considered or looked at their resumes, maybe it would be competition, but like I don't. I'm just like, I don't know you. Sorry.
Well, I'm not being, some of them may be better. I know some of them come with hefty price tags, and some of them are just, yeah, there's always competition. Some people are more are more famous. I'm not famous. Some people are famous and want to do it. Yeah,
That's
there's a lot of competition for my job. When people say,
gotta beat them off with a stick.
yeah. I was hoping this was going towards a compliment towards me, but it it was just
It is a
about how I'm
compliment
eventually
towards
going
you.
to be replaced.
No, it is a compliment towards you. Like I said, I don't even. Oh, hold on. I'm so sorry. My iPad told me 10% it's gonna die.
Yep,
It is
that's
a
okay.
compliment towards you
I
because
thank
like
you.
I don't even
Thank you.
entertain their suits.
I
You
appreciate it.
know, they're out here trying to woo and all of this, and I'm just like, man, I'm up here like having to defend your feel like a gladiator or something, just like having to
I
keep
appreciate
fighting
it.
these people off. Like,
And
oh,
one of
I
these,
had here's my resume, and I'm just like that's cool. I don't know you. Like I can be mean to Joe and he'll still talk to me. So for
yeah, for the most part.
the most part.
No, well, I've never ever finished a show where I haven't said thank you for all the opportunities
Yeah.
or a conversation.
No, that's what I'm saying. You no. You're
And
you're
then,
solid.
and then I will give myself one compliment. They go pretty well.
Yes,
We
they
get
do.
pretty good feedback about it,
Yeah, we did a whole
or
video.
I get good feedback about it.
We did a whole video. I sat next to you.
I know, I
I patted
cried
your knee.
whilst I cried.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Scarefest has given me two of the best memories of my entire life. So,
What are they?
oh,
And then we'll finish.
Lloyd Kaufman and Charlie Band.
Dude,